it. I'm not looking.
And they paid their playoff bill. They lost quarterback Jim Kelly.
It's just one of those days that everything went wrong.
They lost the AFC East title to Miami.
I don't want to go home. Not just yet.
They lost home field advantage throughout the playoffs to Pittsburgh.
We're even shocked to some degree that we're in a wild card game.
And the Bills' heavy debt collectors, the Houston Oilers.
I like our chances as well as anybody's because of the talent we have.
7 days later, the Oilers leave the air-conditioned comfort of the Astrodome and travel to the bitter cold of Buffalo, where the Bills are unbeaten in the postseason.
Buffalo is beatable. We dominated them last week, and we just got to do 100% better this week, you know.
So can Houston pick up where they left off last week and blast the Bills right out of the playoffs? Will Buffalo come charging back? Hello everybody and welcome to our coverage of the playoffs here on Channel 4. Late last night, the reigning Super Bowl champions Washington dominated Minnesota, and a supercharged San Diego ran all over Kansas City, so they both move in to the next round. If you weren't able to join us for those games, don't worry, as Gary will have highlights on Inside Stuff. But for today, the big question mark is the Buffalo Bills. Championed all season as the team from the AFC most likely to reach the Super Bowl, but they've often looked far from their powerful best. And only last week, Houston showed the Bills why they're the only team to go to the playoffs in each of the past 6 seasons. But they also haven't played to their full potential this season. Now these teams meet again, and it's sudden death this time. So if the Bills are serious about the Super Bowl, they'll have to prove it, as the AFC's top offense and top defense come head to head. Buffalo's top-ranked offense will certainly miss Jim Kelly. Can backup Frank Reich rise to the occasion?
You know, this is an awfully good football team we're going up against. You know, defensively, they're number 1 in the AFC and maybe even in the NFL on pass defense. And I think the reason they're number 1 is because they get pressure with the 4-man rush.
In a rush to unbalance Reich will be Houston's Ray Childress.
I think that they're pretty confident in Frank Reich, too. I don't think they're going to change the scheme-wise or take things out because they don't think that Frank Reich could do it. I think he can do just about everything Jim Kelly was doing. He has some ribs, one of the finest defensive players in the league, and, you know, we're going to have to do something to slow him down. You can't really stop him, but you just got to slow him down some.
Bill's Thurman Thomas could take the pressure off Reich if he launches his explosive running attack.
Thurman Thomas, I think, is probably the best, you know, in my opinion, he's the best running back in the league. And I think certainly that they're going to try to run the ball against us.
For Houston, Warren Moon returns to lead their run-and-shoot offense with their 4 wide receivers. Is this enough to worry Buffalo's defense?
Warren Moon, Haywood Jeffries, Lorenzo White, all those guys. We just can't just pinpoint one guy.
Right now we have a full package to go all the way. I think we are probably the best team right now in the AFC.
I think it helps us confidence-wise to know that we can beat this football team, first of all, but we still have a lot of work to do in order to do it twice in a row. It's always tough to beat a team back-to-back.
So can Houston match last week's emotion, or will Buffalo exact their wild revenge? As for the weather, the Bills wanted freezing, windy conditions, but it's 38 degrees. It's not the Dome, but Houston should be happy. So without further ado, let's hand it over to our match commentators, Todd Christensen and Charlie Jones.
Brown and Spencer Tillman, who are the return men, as Pat Coleman is inactive with an injury. And here is Spencer Tillman on the return out to the 20-yard line. You can see the almost 80,000 fans into the game immediately. And quick outside to Curtis Duncan, and he is covered by James Williams. 2nd down and 6. Three receivers on the far side. Going back underneath the coverage to Webster Slaughter, who was Todd Christensen, a question mark.
He was a question mark, and you can see why. Take a look at his right hand. taped fingers, the glove on his hand. He needed that for confidence right away, and Warren is sharp getting the ball immediately. Coming upfield, cutting behind the 2 receivers on the outside that are clearing out for him. He gets the first down with a simple out route, but trust me, he needed the confidence to make that catch to start the game, and he's going to feel a lot better about himself as a result.
The ball at the 31-yard line, opening drive of the ball game, no score. 3 receivers on the near side. Slaughter goes in motion. Moon now being chased, and he is going to end up losing a couple of yards. He'll go out around the 29 or the 30-yard line, and it was Phil Hansen who was chasing him.
That was the proverbial cover sack. Had 4 receivers in the pattern, just couldn't find anybody open. Protection actually was pretty good, but they forced Warren to come to the outside. Again, you know, you have to wonder Warren's football savvy after having missed 6 games, but again, you know, he certainly has the respect of his peers. Charlie, he missed 6 games and he still gets voted to the Pro Bowl. It's amazing.
He is an amazing man.
Well, he was the top-rated quarterback, as mentioned, as you saw in that graphic earlier, but again, you have to wonder, he only threw 13 balls last week. I wonder if he's rusty.
2nd down and 13. Lorenzo White is the remaining back. Stays in the block. Warren is going to run, and then he slides around the 33-yard line. Phil Hansen was there. So a gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Jack Party told us yesterday that Bruce Smith really disrupted things. Now take a look at what they're doing. Not only is Don Maggs over there, but look, here comes Munchak and Lorenzo White. Triple teaming Bruce Smith, trying to keep him out of the backfield. 14 this season, not only 14 sacks, but he also had close to 90 tackles. Bruce Smith is not one-dimensional. He's not a guy that just cuts up field. He is the heart of that Buffalo defense.
3rd down. Going deep. And Haywood Jeffries holds on to it with double coverage. He's hit by Kelso and Odoms. 31 yards. The Oilers in Bill's territory.
Ever since Drew Hill left the Houston organization, they have looked for the go-to guy, and Warren has said that man has to be Haywood Jeffries. This is what he does so well. At 6'3" on 190 pounds, Nate Odom's an outstanding cornerback. But look at that. It's a jump ball.
First down, Buffalo 35-yard line. No score. Opening drive of the ball game. Slaughter in motion, and here is Lorenzo White. And he's going to pick up 3 yards on the play. 2nd down and 7.
Kevin Gilbride back on the sidelines. Good thing to see after an operation to remove cancer. Kevin Gilbride, offensive coordinator, a big believer in this run-and-shoot offense.
Moon's pass is complete. Coming to the near side. Webster Slaughter again on the receiving end. Mark Kelso was there. 3rd down and 2. And the draw. White. Good defensive play. Darryl Talent. Fourth and 1. First down, he is hit and bounced back and climbs again. He was right at the marker and then hit, and he kept going, and he may have picked it up. It is a first down just across the 25-yard line. Moon comes back, throws it underneath the coverage at the 20-yard line. It is Webster Slaughter again. It will be incomplete. Slaughter is going to argue. He will lose the argument. It'll be 2nd and 10. It's White on the draw again. 20, 15. He's got the first down.
Once he escapes the first line, take a look at the drop play by Lorenzo White. Once he escapes the first one, everybody has their back turned. Nate Odoms has his back turned, chasing Haywood Jeffries downfield. Schultz comes over later to make the tackle, but it's too late. You can see right there number 37, Layden coming in on the play because he has his back turned to the quarterback.
Gain of 13 yards on the play. First down, 11-yard line. Opening drive of the ball game. No score. Slaughter comes across in motion. Moon to throw. Back to the far side. This is Jeffries. Slaughter across in motion. Lorenzo White straight shot, couple of yards. Oilers started at their own 20.
And let me also say so much for Warren Moon being rusty.
Moon to throw. Little pump fake, comes back, buys some time, throws into the end zone. Touchdown for Houston. Haywood Jeffries.
Warren Moon made that play totally. The idea was to run a flat route to Lorenzo White. They had the wide receivers cutting inside, trying to shield the people from coming to him, but that wasn't open. Watch Warren Moon's mobility. At 36 years of age, he can still move around. The idea is to get White the ball right there, but he's not open. Now he pivots back. The people have to come up in case Warren runs, and as a result, Jeffries able to find a dead spot in the zone. 6 points for the Oilers.
And taking more than 9 minutes off of the clock in the opening drive. Here is the extra point. It is good. 80 yards on the play, 80 yards on the drive in 14 plays.
So an impressive start for the Oilers, but from the kickoff, the Bills came right back with this 54-yard Ken Davis return. And at the end of a 10-play drive, they came away with this Steve Christie field goal and trailed 7-3 at the end of the quarter. And if the question mark for Houston was Warren Moon, the Oilers should be ecstatic. Their first drive of 80 yards encompassed everything. The run, the pass, Warren, and best of all, it took 9 minutes. And the best way to beat the Bills' league-leading offense is to keep them on the bench. Talking of which, Frank Reich has once again answered his critics. His first drive ending with that Steve Christie field goal. So a great start to this all-important first-round AFC matchup. For what promises to be a great second quarter, join us after this. Welcome back. Well, the Oilers couldn't have made a better start to the game, opening with a 14-play drive, including this 31-yard Warren Moon pass to Haywood Jeffries. They definitely seem to have all the momentum right now. We rejoin the game on Houston's opening drive of the second quarter. They have a first down and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Moon with good protection again. Far side pass is complete. And it is Ernest Gibbons who pulls it down over Henry Jones. A gain of 24 and a first down.
This is what the Houston Oilers do to you. They put people in positions they're not used to. Henry Jones led the NFL in interceptions, but that was as a strong safety. So primarily he's covering tight ends and running backs. Someone like Ernest Gibbons, he's not used to. With the short corner, he gets open, and there's Warren Moon with that body English showing his 10-inch vertical leap. His wife will be happy with that. But that was a tremendous throw.
The ball at the Buffalo 43-yard line, first down Houston.
Actually, I played basketball against him a number of years ago. I'll tell you that story after this play.
Gibbons comes back out. Here's White. Get off inside. Good defensive play again by Bruce Smith.
When I was a member of the Oakland Raiders after the 1980 season when we won the Super Bowl, Warren Moon, first we're going to get a chance to see Bruce Smith in on the play. Don Meggs cuts down. He takes on Doug Dawson, shucks him aside, and able to tackle Lorenzo White for a gain of no yards.
Second down and 10. The ball at the 43-yard line. Slaughter comes across in motion. Wide receivers balance, 2 on each side. Going underneath the coverage to Gibbons. Cannot slip the tackle. And will be stopped at the 37-yard line. Darryl Talley and Kurt Schultz there for Buffalo.
Back in the 1980 season when I was a member of the Oakland Raiders, we won the Super Bowl. That was also the same year that the Edmonton Eskimos won the Grey Cup, and so we went up to play their team in basketball, Warren Moon's team. And he could hoop. I got to give him credit. But I did throw in 26 points, so, you know,
I thought there was a reason you were bringing this home. You insisted we squeeze that story in. All right, third down and 4. Look at the time of possession. 13.5 minutes to 4.5. Houston leading 7-3. Gibbons has the first down. He will go out at the 31-yard line.
You know, the one thing that's always been that has impressed me about Ernest Gibbons, besides the numbers and everything else, is the fact that at 5'9", 174 pounds, his willingness to go over the middle. This is a crossing route. He's going to look to Gibbons right there, cutting across the middle, and that's where people get hurt. But number 81 it doesn't matter. We've seen him get hurt, get hit time and time again, and continue to come back.
Remember what Gibbons told us? That I like to get inside of the mind of the defensive back.
Well, there in that case, of course, he's got Talley cutting behind him. He knows that Darryl Talley cannot keep up with him, and he runs across the field and gets the first down.
He wants to get inside their pocketbook, too. Ninth play of the drive that started at the Houston 20-yard line. Moon, a little swing right side to Gibbons. Oh, he is nailed.
Tackled by Clifford Hicks.
Yeah, he's nailed, but he's resilient. That's my point. He doesn't shirk. He could have slid there. Take a look when he catches the ball. Why didn't he slide? Why does he avoid the contact? He doesn't. He sticks it in there. Inside receiver, the two wide receivers outside, clear out for him, cuts upfield. You're right. He takes a shot there from Hicks, spins off and tries to get more yardage instead of just going down. How many receivers do you see catch the ball and slide and avoid contact? Not that many.
Warren Moon, 11 of 13. He has thrown for 101 yards and a touchdown and has just over 10 and a half minutes left to go first half and has the lead. And here is White. And White all the way to the 10-yard line. A gain of 15 yards on the play, and first down Houston. Darryl Talley and Mark Kelso make the tackle.
Let's give Kevin Gilbride and this offensive line a lot of credit. They're doing a great job of mixing up their plays. Simple draw play. There's Munchak pushing out right. Hicks comes up, totally misses the tackle. Lorenzo White cutting inside. Interesting statistic about Lorenzo White, Charlie, did not lose a single fumble this year. 1992 season, did not lose a fumble.
And handled the ball 322 times.
Very impressive.
Has 46 yards rushing in this ball game. And a first down at the 10-yard line. Here's White. And he is down at the 6, where it will be second down.
With the tackle.
This has got to be exciting for the offensive linemen of the Houston Oilers, if for no other reason than they're always in a catch mode. They always have to catch people in pass blocking. Now you see them jump coming off the line of scrimmage and attacking people. Just before the snap, Lorenzo White a little bit confused as to where we're going. Moon audibling a lot here in these situations. Simple out tackle. Look at the white shirts, moving blue shirts back. That's what's enabling White to get the yardage.
They mark the ball at the 7-yard line. Second down. Little play action fake in the end zone. Touchdown. Webster Slaughter. So now Haywood Jeffries and Webster Slaughter have the 2 touchdown receptions for the Houston Oilers.
Given the fact that the man has a broken hand, this is a tremendous catch. Watch the weave move he puts on here to the inside. Clifford Hicks now goes to the left side. Look at the shake. He's looking at his hips, falls down. What a catch by Slaughter, coming underneath with that bad hand. Here's the body English once again with the jumping. He's got to be excited, not just for the touchdown, but the way he's playing. After going 6 for 13 last week, he is on his mark.
Al Del Greco to attempt the extra point. It is good. Houston, 2 possessions, 2 80-yard touchdown drives. The Oilers lead it 14-3.
In contrast to Houston's seemingly unstoppable offense, Buffalo were unable to move the ball on their following possession, punting after 3 plays. We pick up Houston's next drive at their own 43-yard line.
We're moving on the 6-minute mark, time remaining second quarter. Moon deep over the middle, pass is complete. And it is Gibbons. Clifford Hicks with the tackle. And what Gibbons told us yesterday, they do not want to give us the big play. And Gibbons has made the big play here.
Well, that was a pretty big play here. It's a deep in route. He gets behind the zone coverage. Hicks is with him. He throws the arm up knowing he's coming to the inside. Moon has plenty of time to get him the ball. When he pulls that arm up, that is a signal to Moon the direction that he is going. In this case, he's going in instead of out. Moon saw it, had the requisite time, and delivers the ball right on the money.
And a gain of 24 yards. Houston at the Buffalo 33-yard line, first down. 5.5 minutes left to go, first half. Here's White. And he is tipped up at the 30-yard line. It'll be second down and 7. Phil Hansen makes the tackle.
Gain of 3, 2nd to 7.
One of the things that you notice, not only the hand signals of Gibbons back to Warren Moon, but also the fact that throughout the first half, Lorenzo White, because of the crowd noise, steps up to Warren Moon. Two things are happening. One is that he is surveying to see if he sees an audible, and the second is so he can make sure that if there's any kind of a change, an audible from Warren that he can hear.
And an interesting point, too, though, Charlie, the more successful they are, the less the crowd noise is a factor. We haven't seen him doing quite as much in the second quarter as we did in the first.
Moon with a hand signal for the audible, changing the play to the outside. Has pressure, he'll be sacked. And a flag is down at the 25-yard line. Only the second time in the ballgame that we've seen a flag. Jeff Wright got Warren Moon.
Coming from the secondary, that flag came in from a long ways away. More than likely.
7 of the defense. 5 yards, automatic first down.
Holding on Clifford Hicks.
When you see that flag fly in from such a difference, almost inevitably that's defensive holding. Take a look at Hicks here in coverage on Leonard Harris. Harris cuts to the outside, now cuts back in. Look at the face mask. Just got a little piece of the face mask. That's a little bit touchy, but that certainly hurts Buffalo after getting a sack. Now it's an automatic first down.
At the 26-yard line, Houston with the first down and the lead, 14-3. Moving on the 4-minute mark, time remaining second quarter. Gibbons across in motion. 2 seconds on the play clock. Moon goes deep, and it is caught.
What a catch
By Curtis Duncan. So 3 of the 4 wide receivers now have scored touchdowns for the Houston Oilers. This one at 26 yards.
Not exactly elated, maybe that's just because he doesn't want to get too excited. But the throw by Warren Moon, right in the seam. Take a look at Duncan. He's in the seam. The ball's going to be thrown over Hicks's shoulder, and Kelso is going to tattoo him. But Duncan holds on. Bang! But number 80 is able to hold on to the ball. His second touchdown of the season. It couldn't have come at a bigger time.
And so for the Houston Oilers, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, all 3 off of the arm of Warren Moon. Moon has already thrown for 158 yards. The extra point is good. The score is Houston 21, Buffalo 3.
On their following possession, Buffalo again came up short when they were unable to convert this 4th down play. We join the start of the Oilers' next drive.
1:15 time remaining first half. Houston with the first down at their own 33-yard line. Moon to throw, right side, pass is complete. And it is Curtis Duncan who steps out of bounds, stopping the clock at the 1:11 mark. James Williams had the coverage for Buffalo. Yesterday, when we talked with Warren Moon, we asked him about their chances of going all the way. He said, you know, if we can win at Buffalo, and he emphasized it, I really like our chances.
I was going to say probably the 3 toughest places to win on the road. Buffalo has to be either the toughest or close to it. Mile High Stadium is certainly difficult, as is RFK in Washington. But because of the weather, you know, this has got to be maybe, you know, arguably the toughest place to play.
First down at the 43-yard line. Warren has pressure, backpedals out of it. Little pump fake, goes to the near side. Haywood Jeffries picks up a step or 2, and then out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:04 left to go in the first half. Nate Odoms with the coverage for Buffalo. And if you don't look out, Houston's going to score again.
I was about to say, it doesn't appear that they're going to sit on the ball here. They're trying to get something going. Moon with good time. Bruce Smith with the jump. Double pump fake. Moon brings it back. Jeffries wisely gets out of bounds. Pointed out there by Slaughter. Interesting. Get out of bounds.
For Warren Moon, that is 9 completions in a row. He is at 16 of 18 for 175 yards so far in the first half. Here's Lorenzo White. And he will be close to the first down at the 47-yard line of Buffalo. Carlton Bailey making the tackle. And Houston will take a timeout to stop the clock with 54 seconds left to go in the first half.
Look at that. Jeez. Look at those numbers. Goodness sakes. Well, I guess, yeah, the rust is quickly come off.
Yeah. He says that he has an extra addition to the shoulder pad on the left-hand side to give him to some protection. It's a bit cumbersome.
Yeah, it's really bothered him.
Buffalo still has 3 timeouts.
But what they're saying there is that they took the officials' timeout to measure it, and so as a result, they didn't have to use it.
They say Houston has 3 timeouts. What he said in Lorenzo, they're going to have to take another timeout, the officials, to mark this one. I don't think he picked up the first down. Hanson and Bailey with the tackle, and the officials will stop the clock now for another measurement. Now they point. Now are they good? This is charged to the Houston Oilers. Make that official.
Well, it's still not a given as to whether or not that's a first down. I think you're right, Charlie. They're going to have to measure that again. In fact, the down marker on the other side has already put it up that it's 4th. The Houston Oilers are the only team in the National Football League to have made the playoffs 6 consecutive years. He wants to shake that underachiever tag.
Warren Moon with a bit of a head bob pulled a defensive lineman off, and let's see how they call it. And Warren did it to him.
Encroachment, number 91 of the defense, 5 yards, first down.
And Warren pulled him. He did. He bobbed the head.
Now, those veteran quarterbacks are always going to get away with it. Elway is very good at that, too. Take a look. Does his head move? Hut, 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 hut. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And roll the shoulders just a bit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Party's going, yeah, well, that's in our repertoire. That's the play we called.
And it's a first down at the Buffalo 42-yard line. Moon to Haywood Jeffries. Shane Conlon with the tackle.
Charlie, the Buffalo Bills are absolutely on their heels defensively. If it makes any sense to say they're playing defensive defense, that's exactly what's happening. Backpedaling into the zone. Odom's at least 5-6 yards off. He's concerned about the deep route.
The offensive line of the Houston Oilers has been outstanding in the first half. Moon throws. It is incomplete. Slaughter, the intended receiver. Nate Odom has the coverage. It'll be second down and 10 back at the 29-yard line with 26 seconds left to go in the half.
You mentioned that offensive line, Charlie. Of the 5 guys on that offensive line, 4 of them are first-round picks, and the other is a second-round pick. So in a lot of cases, you know, when you pick, take a look at the total yardage there. Certainly there's domination on the part of the Oilers. First-round picks, for the most part, you know, you want to get what they call impact players. But the Houston Oilers have done a good job of getting quality people up front to protect their impact players.
Second down and 10. Moon, all the time in the world, comes back on the near side to Jeffries, who goes out of bounds to stop the clock. And again, it was Odoms who was there for Buffalo. 20 seconds left to go first half.
It's a catch-22, Charlie. If you blitz them, then Warren Moon's going to take advantage of the man-for-man coverage. If you don't blitz him and rush just 4, the offensive line is going to give him the time. I know this is slow motion, but just count in your head all the seconds that Warren Moon has. Look at this, waving people downfield, moving them here, moving them there. Just no problem at all. We haven't called this man's name too often, and give Don Maggs credit. And, of course, he's also getting some help. Lorenzo White comes over and chips in.
Third down and 8. Moon goes deep. Touchdown, Houston. Haywood Jeffries with his second touchdown of the game. And Warren Moon has thrown for 4 touchdowns in the first half.
I think Nate Odom's looking for some inside help here. This is just an up route on the part of Jeffries, nothing fancy. Take a look at number 37. Where is he? All right, he pushes him to the outside, looks back and slows down right there. I think he thinks he has safety help, but Schultz is over far too late. And, of course, you're supposed to get safety help from the inside, jumping up and down. Boy, he's got reason to jump up and down. I don't know what I can't in my head quickly think of all the games that he has had big numbers, but certainly from an accuracy standpoint, this is probably his best game ever.
And the extra point is good, and Houston is out in front by a score of 28-3.
Well, an uphill battle now for the Buffalo Bills in the second half. And what a performance by Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers. For the second half and more, join us after this break. Welcome back, everybody. Before we go back to Rich Stadium, here's Gary.
Well, for all of you either too tired from the new year or too hungover to work the video, we're going to have a quick look back at yesterday's wildcard games. Kansas City at San Diego and the defending Super Bowl champions Washington, who are only in the playoffs because the Vikings beat the Packers last week, travelling to Minnesota to repay the favour. Sub-zero temperatures up in the Twin Cities, but 65 as usual in the Dome. And the Vikings, with Chris Carter back from injury, wasted no time in going to their most productive receiver, Sean Salisbury, finding him down by the goal line, and Terry Allen taking it the rest of the way. After that, though, it was all Washington, or to be more precise, all Brian Mitchell, known primarily as a kick returner. He did that job to perfection, giving the Skins great field position, then fooled the Vikings special teams by taking the snap on a fake punt and rumbling all the way down inside the 20. But not content with that, with Ricky Irvin's hurt, he did duty at running back too, racking up 109 yards and this touchdown. Mark Rippon had great protection all day. This pass to Art Monk set up Ernest Biner for another rushing touchdown for the Skins. Then in the third quarter, it was Rippon with the bomb to Gary Clark to ice the victory. And this year's Redskins suddenly looked frighteningly like last year's.
There's a lot of memories here and a lot of special ties. You know, we finished it, ended it here last year. Why not start it here this year?
Well, last year Stan Humphries won a Super Bowl ring as Rippon's backup. This year he wants to earn one with San Diego. And despite playing hurt, he looked good on the Chargers' opening play from scrimmage, hitting Nate Lewis for 39 yards. But with the Chargers down in scoring position, Marion Butts fumbled, and that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the first half. Defense ruled, whether it was Albert Lewis coming in on the cornerback blitz or Kansas City's more regular dispensers of quarterback pain, Derek Thomas and Neil Smith. 5 sacks for the Chiefs in the game and 7 for the Chargers, including this one on Dave Craig by Big Burt Grossman. The stalemate had to end sometime, though, and fittingly from San Diego's point of view, it was Marion Butts who'd fumbled away their best chance in the first half, who broke it, going 58 yards almost untouched into the end zone. A John Carney field goal and a short yardage rumble from Steve Hendrickson finished things off. And needless to say, Stan Humphries prefers being in the playoffs as a starter than a backup.
I tell you, I like this a little better, I think, because I'm actually out on the field playing. You know, I'm going to respect and always treasure the Super Bowl, but this is a lot more fun, I think, because I'm out there playing.
12 victories in their last 13 games. San Diego looking great, but my pick for the AFC representatives in the Super Bowl, Buffalo, looking a bit sick.
And everyone else's pick, but you never know in this game. But if you love football, and in particular offense, then you had a treat in the first half. Warren Moon, his teammates and the coaches put on a clinic. They had 4 drives of 80 yards, 67 yards, and 67 yards respectively, all for touchdowns. As if this wasn't enough, the Oilers' defense have also played superb football. And the biggest factor for the Bills' offense could well be time of possession. The Oilers' defense hardly saw the field in the first half, and that means fresh legs, which isn't good news for the Bills, who need to score early and maintain a drive. But unfortunately for them, as we go back to Rich Stadium, the start of the second half was a disaster. On their first drive, Bubba McDowell intercepted Frank Reich and ran it back to extend the Oilers' lead to 32 points. As we rejoin the games, the Bills are facing a tough 3rd and 15 on Houston's 31-yard line.
This pass is caught by Reed. He is gagged immediately, but he caught it at the 15-yard line, and that can well be a first down.
From experience, I can tell you, Charlie, this is a scary time of the game for receivers. You're down. You've got to go across the middle deep. You know it's a zone coverage, and you also know you're going to get hit.
Right throws left, incomplete. Reed, the intended receiver. Steve Jackson had the coverage for Houston.
Andre Reed on the out-and-up route. Steve Jackson just barely turns around quickly to be able to get a piece of that. Here's the out, and he goes up. 24 a little bit late, turns around right at the last minute. His arm comes in and bats it down. Good play by Jackson. Could be out of it for a run here.
incomplete. Reed, the interior receiver, he wanted interference on Jackson. It'll be 4th down and short.
As usual, here's the slant route. Contact before the ball is thrown. Cuts to the inside. A little bit of holding right there. Has the left hand on him. But there at the end of the play, that's what the officials saw. And there, Jackson was pretty much off of him body-wise. Reed's got a complaint, but it was for defensive holding, not for pass interference.
4th down and 2. Kenneth Davis. It'll be a 1st down at the 2-yard line. He picked up 5. It'll be 1st down and goal to go. Marcus Robertson with a stop for the Oilers.
That's a good call. You anticipate 4th and 2. They're going to throw to the end zone down. Just penetrate that middle because you know that everybody's out on the flanks covering wideouts. Tackle made by the free safety, but not before he got it in.
They come back to Davis again. He tries to go over the top. He does not make it. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Eddie Robinson, the rookie from Alabama State, was there to greet him for the Houston Oilers, just about a foot away.
Of course, the issue here is not just score, but score quick. Get out of the huddle and score the points and take some time off.
Mitch Furrott, number 59. Normally an interior lineman is an eligible receiver, as he reports.
I think that must have been the Jaws motion, or the crocodile. You see that?
Yes.
That he was motioning there?
They go into their famous Crocodile Dundee defense. Here is Davis. Heads for the corner and he makes it.
Buffalo spreads people out right, thinking that's the direction they're going, and they come back left, and they're limited Oilers. Good upfield blocking there on the part of Jim Richer, who pushes Robertson out of the way, enabling Davis to go in for the score.
And the extra point is hooking but good. And Houston now leads 35-10. Onside kick goes 10 yards. Buffalo scrambles for it. The Bills say they have it. See what the officials say.
And Christie's the one that comes up with the ball. There's a term for this kick, and what it's called the suicide onside. It's designed for the kicker to get it. They wind up, don't look like they're kicking an onside kick, and he just dribbles it in the middle about 10 yards. He's going to be flanked by people trying to protect him. They're going to try and knock him out of the way. Actually, Graff gets it first, and then the ball knocks out. Look at that. It slides over to Christie. Graff had it in his clutches, but it came out, and give Christie credit. Hustling down here, the ball easily 10 yards. Ball squirts out, number 2 has it. Buffalo ball.
So Buffalo now from their own 48-yard line, 1st down. .846 left to go, 3rd quarter, right to throw. Diving reception. Now, Beebe was the safety officials that I got it. He had not been touched down. That could well have been a fumble. It was knocked loose from him. The officials had blown the play down.
And that's the point that Jerry Gray is debating with the official right now. Okay, he makes the catch. Now watch. Here's the catch. He's got his arms underneath it. Okay, you have the catch. Now is he down yet? No, he's not down. He's not down yet, and the ball comes loose.
This one is incomplete. Beebe trying to buy another reception. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's look close and see where Jerry Gray touches him. If he touches him before he pulls the ball away from him. You see this all the time, of course, in baseball. The outfielder will dig one up and then hold the ball up and say, yeah, I've got the catch. Has he been touched yet? Right there, no. He hit the ball away and then hit his jersey. Technically, he was not down. Now the official comes in and says he was, but he wasn't. Gray had a legitimate beat.
And we make a correction. It is 3rd down and 1 for the 1st down. That catch was good for 9 yards. A flag is down. Carwell Gardner picks up the 1st down if it stands.
Doug Smith jumped off, it appeared, and I think it will stand. 99 in the middle of the line appeared to be the man who jumped off in the neutral zone.
Offside, number 99. 5 yards.
Into the neutral zone. Watch moving just a little bit before the snap. And get it cleared. Watch Doug Smith. Moving just a little bit too much, clearly offsides.
The ball at the Houston 38-yard line. Buffalo has a first down. They trail 35-10. 8:09 time remaining, third quarter. Right to throw. Down the side. All alone. Beebe scores.
He comes outside of Jerry Gray. Jerry Gray pushes him. Take a look. He's out of bounds right there. Jerry Gray was complaining to the official that Don Beebe was out of bounds, and he came back in. If we get another shot of that, take a look at his right foot. We'll get a chance to look at it after the extra point.
It is good.
Where's that right foot? Take a look at the right foot as it comes down. Is that out of bounds? Is that on the white? It certainly is. He's definitely out of bounds. Coming back inside, a gift touchdown for the Buffalo Bills, but now they're back in it at 35-17.
From the kickoff, Warren Moon couldn't get the Oilers going, and they had to punt. As we pick it up, the Bills have possession with a first down and 10 on their own 41-yard line.
And Reich rolls right. He throws. The pass is complete. James Lawson, that is his first reception of the ball game.
18-yard gain. First down.
This year he tied his position coach Charlie Joyner's 750 catches all time. 36 years of age, like Old Man River. He just keeps rolling along.
At the Houston 41-yard line, first down. Here's Davis. Mark him a yard. It'll be second down and 9. And for Frank Reich, it has been the tale of two halves. The first half, 5 of 11 for 59 yards. The second half, 8 of 12, 123 yards. He threw for the touchdown. He also, though, threw for the interception to Bubba McDowell that cost him a touchdown as McDowell scored on the return of 58 yards. Second down. Right this time, he goes deep, has a man open, wide open down the sideline is Beebe.
It's not going to count. The play has been blown dead. The official ran in.
Number 79 raised up. False start. 5 yards. Still second down.
Did he say 79?
No, I believe he probably meant 75.
75.
Yeah, Howard Ballard is who he meant.
I guess he heard my... Oh, Howard.
Howard Ballard, big man. Take a look right here. Here's the right tackle. Take a look at it when he rears up right there. Good call by the official. A little bit too soon.
And very costly. But all of a sudden, the receivers of the Bills are getting loose deep in the secondary. The ball goes back to the 45. It'll be second down and 14. We do have confirmation on Thurman Thomas. It is the hip pointer. There is the possibility that he could return. That is still to be decided. 5 minutes and 4 seconds left, third quarter. It is Houston 35, Buffalo 17. The Bills now with a second and 14. And of course, they have to reset the clock because of that false start, because that play does not exist. That does not count.
Charlie, you're mentioning in the secondary, inevitably when you get a big lead like this, you stop playing to win and you start playing not to lose. And I think the Houston Oilers defense has done a lot of that, and that's something that Jim Eddy said we need to guard against.
And you saw Jim Kelly on the sideline get happier than earlier. Here's the screen, right side, needs a block, gets it. First down for Kenneth Davis.
well by Frank Reich. Right at the last minute, he's get to Davis. Now watch the linemen out in front of him get their blocks. First there's Glenn Parker. Then there's Metzelar's knocking somebody down. Then there's Farrat. Great job by the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills. Take a look at the reaction to Jim Kelly. Yeah, all right, okay. All right, that's better.
19 yards, first down at the 26. Right, nice touch, has another man open. Backpedaling into the end zone is Andre Reed. Extra point is good. And suddenly it's 35 to 24 with 4:21 left to go. We're in the third quarter.
Well, if Andre Reed hadn't been much of a factor in the second half of the season, he certainly has been one today. Once again, the out-and-up move on Steve Jackson. There's nothing he can do about it. He's completely fooled looking into the backfield. And Andre Reed karaoke's his way into the end zone. Just cuts the outside, looks in, now looks back. Jackson right there. No way he should be looking in the backfield. Wright doesn't even throw that particularly that good of a pass, but Jackson's coverage is so bad that it's a touchdown.
From the kickoff, Warren Moon was again under pressure and again was picked off. So amazingly, it's the Bills who have the ball.
First down, still 3:35 left to go in the third. Kenneth Davis has a couple of yards to the 21. It'll be second down and 8. Second down and 8. We're moving on the 3-minute mark, time remaining, but still in the third quarter. And Buffalo trailed at halftime 28 to 3, and then following the interception by Bubba McDowell, they were down 35 to 3 at the 13-19 mark of the third quarter. And here's Davis on the right side. And he'll have a couple more yards to the 18-yard line. Going to be third down, around 5 yards to go for the first down. Third down and 5. Wants to go to the end zone, has good protection, now he's being chased. Now he is throwing the ball away, but he gets away with it. The reason being he had Kenneth Davis about 5 yards downfield from where he bounced it. Still going for it at 4th and 5. Into the end zone, has a man, touchdown!
Well, if the first half was a dream for the Oilers, the third quarter was a nightmare. They began it leading by 35 to 3, but they ended it just 4 points ahead. And that sets the stage for what could be one of the greatest comebacks in NFL playoff history. Join us after the break for what Well, who would have bet on it at halftime? The Bills are back. And despite Don Beebe illegally running out of bounds, it still looks far too easy. The Oilers' opening possession of the fourth quarter was a 75-yard drive, taking them to Buffalo's 15, where Al Del Greco had the chance to increase their lead.
32-yard field goal attempt. Al Del Greco finished the season hitting 5 in a row. No! Now the pitch back. The Buffalo Bills take over. They have the ball going down the field. field.
This run is going to go for nothing. The official has already called them down at the 27-yard line.
We said it was a wild card playoff. I think wild is the definitive word. Led by Darrell Talley of the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo will have the ball back at their own 26-yard line. First down.
That snap is fine. It just goes through the hands of Greg Montgomery. And, of course, the big debate by the crowd, everybody else, is whether or not he was down. Right there, the ground causes the fumble. That's a good call by the official, Jerry Austin. Marv Levy didn't agree. He thought Talley should have been able to go the distance, but Austin was on top of it. Good call.
So the ball down at the 26-yard line. Buffalo takes over on downs. Here's the screen right side to Kenneth Davis. Davis to the 30. Slips as he makes this cut at the 31-yard line. He has 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Al Smith was there for the Oilers. Don't forget, Houston still leads in the ball game by 4 points, 35-31, with now 6.5 minutes left to go. And again, the winner here today will play next weekend at Pittsburgh on Saturday. And then the late game on Sunday, the San Diego Chargers at Miami against the Dolphins. All, of course, on NBC. Leading then to the championship game and to the Super Bowl here on NBC this year on January the 31st for the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Incomplete. Beebe had his hands on it, just couldn't quite pull it in. Chris Dishman was there stride for stride. It'll be 3rd down.
Frank Reich has to be frustrated. He put that one right on Beebe's hands. Very catchable ball. Dishman in decent coverage behind him, but right there, he's running. He's in full stride, and you got to figure that he's going to make it at least past midfield. Slant route cuts inside of Dishman. Ball's right there. Very catchable.
With 13 minutes and 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, the Houston Oilers led by 32 points, 35-3, and now with 6 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the ball game, that margin has been cut to 4 points, 35-31. Buffalo now, 3rd down and 4. And here is Davis. He's got the first down. He's to the 50. He might make it. No, tripped up. Steve Jackson, a hand on an ankle, saves 6 points.
Kenneth Davis with a great vision. This is designed to go left. Now he cuts back to the route. Almost fumbles the handoff. Bad tackling on the part of the Oilers. Now Kenneth Davis high steps it there. Steve Jackson just there. Trips up his heel. Or Charlie, you're right. He might have gone the distance.
35 yards on the play. That was a 3rd down and 4 conversion. Houston 33-yard line. First down Buffalo. Right back to Davis. There's not much there this time. Sean Jones makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 33-yard line.
2nd and 10.
Now let's go back to Kenneth Davis in the play that he busted on 3rd down and 4.
Well, the secondary reads it and comes up right there. Great block by both Richer and Wolford, enabling Davis to cut in the open field, going with the high step. Interesting style. I guess they haven't missed Thurman Thomas too much this 2nd half.
Right pass is complete. Far side to Beebe. He's wrapped up immediately by Jerry Gray. In case you joined us late, Thurman Thomas, bothered again by that hip pointer that he suffered a week ago, has not played in the 2nd half. The ball just outside the 25-yard line. It is 3rd down and 2. Moving on the 4-minute mark, time remaining in the game. Buffalo with only 1 timeout remaining in the 2nd half. Dropped over the middle, pass is complete, first down, Andre Reed. Bubba McDowell with the tackle. Buffalo has a first down.
Houston Oilers decide to go the blitz. Here comes Steve Jackson, the blitz right away. They know it's man coverage. Andre Reed does a great job of reading that and cutting to the inside. McDowell has to come from his safety spot to make the tackle. That's blitz read. He knows as soon as it's blitzing, he's going to go short and across the middle, and Reich reads it as well, give him a chance to set up shop now. 1st and 10 at the 17.
3:19 and counting, time remaining. Buffalo trailing by 4. Like to throw, end zone, touchdown.
But that's the man in the trail coverage right there, number 24, expecting help from the inside, and Marcus Robertson. Marv Levy with the, semi-excited reaction, as at this point, that's the greatest comeback in NFL history. The Bills are up 38-35 with a little more than 3 minutes remaining.
Wow, and then Warren Moon engineered yet another long drive on Houston's next possession, including this crucial 4th down conversion to Webster Slaughter, setting up a game-tying field goal opportunity.
That man right there, Greg Montgomery, has to be going through his head why he dropped that last one. That could be playing on him a little bit.
And it all starts with Bruce Matthews, the 12-baller, who will snap. 26 yards for the top. It is good from 26 yards away. And with 12 seconds left in regulation, we are tied 38-38.
So it's overtime, and the Bills fans think it's going to go their way, but they lost the toss and had to kick off to Houston, who are on their own 20-yard line as we pick it up.
We are tied to start overtime. Moon drops it off underneath the coverage. Curtis Duncan at the 24-yard line. James Williams makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Time is not a factor here, at least with a 15, because it is sudden death. The thing is going to go forever. So Curtis Duncan not in a hurry to get out of bounds. Just gets down with the 4-yard gain.
Gibbons comes across in motion. Moon again underneath the coverage, and again it is Duncan. James Williams is there. It'll be 3rd down. Moon needs 3 yards. Has the time. Throws. It is intercepted. Buffalo has the ball. Nate Odoms at the 35-yard line. Flags are down. There's a wrestling match at the 40-yard line.
So the Bills, with the help of Warren Moon, fought their way into field goal range with Nate Odom's interception. And Steve Christie had this 32-yard field goal to win it for the Buffalo Bills.
It is right down the middle.
I'm just so proud. I'm so thrilled. This is the greatest moment of my life, besides having my daughters and marrying my wife. I'm so proud to be on this team with the Bills. I thank Jesus for the strength not to quit, to come back, for all my teammates for just playing their hearts out. Defense played great in the 2nd half, and we came through with the big win.
Well, that obviously is a happy man. I was talking to him this week, and I promise you, if I'd said he's going to come back from 30-some points, he wouldn't have believed me, Jesus or anyone included. But now let's see, with all the games from this weekend, what that means for next weekend. It means San Diego are at Miami, and Buffalo are at Pittsburgh. That's in the AFC. In the NFC, it's Washington at San Francisco. That should be a great one. And it's Eagles or the Saints, a game that's going on right now, and they'll be playing at Dallas. And the score at the moment is 10-7, the Saints in the Superdome. So that's a huge game going on there right now. And we'll have highlights of that game on play action later on this week, and that's on a Friday night and again on Saturday at noon. Also watch out for our extra playoff program on Saturday night at 10:45, as well as our regular program at 8:30 next Sunday. So an extensive package of football for you next weekend on Channel 4. I hope you'll be able to join us. So until next time, good night.